Perhaps it's a sign of my age or perhaps something else, but I cannot help thinking more and more about what kind of a world we're leaving for our children, grandchildren. And it's not a very pretty picture, not one that should inspire pride.
Friday Night Lights, part of American tradition for as long as most of us can remember.
It's a really big deal. It means a lot.
But the American flag not welcome for students to wave inside this stadium last Friday night. In a video shared on Twitter, a police officer is asking Brandon Conrad to leave.
The flag being a symbol of our country and everything being taken away from us, it's kind of a double standard almost.
An uproar in South Carolina after a high school bans the American flag from a football game. It happened over the weekend. Travelers Rest High School opposing rival Berea High, which has a large Hispanic population. The principal of Travelers defending the decision to ban the flag, saying, quote, "Any decision to not allow the American flag to be used in an improper, taunting, unsportsmanlike manner is first and foremost in the interest of promoting the safety and well-being of all in attendance at school events. Students who tried to enter the stadium with the American flag were turned away. Are we forcing the retreat of the American flag?"
Very much so. We're forcing, well, think about all the retreats we're already having, whether it's capitalism, traditional values, faith, different retreats we've already had in public spheres. All of those things add up to what America has represented, what our founders gave us. And you start to abandon all of those, you start to abandon a lot of the symbols of America.
You got a bracelet, I know, when you came in today. I see many of you are already wearing it. And it has underneath it the words dignity, respect, and acceptance. A belief, a core belief in diversity and inclusion, where each person here feels accepted, valued, and safe. We insist on a culture of respect, and we recognize that words and actions really matter. The absence of words and actions also matter. We respect and seek out inclusion of our differences, realizing that we learn from each other, and we do not tolerate words of action or actions of hate and disrespect.
Preschoolers receiving support from the New South Wales Department of Education to change gender. The 4-year-old is hoping for a sex swap before the first day of kindergarten.
Yeah, there's been a wave of young students apparently who are seeking to transition.
Saying that Chicago needs to move out of the 19th century, a transgender Chicago woman is suing the city over its ban on female nudity in bars. The federal lawsuit says it's unfair that men can perform in bars bare-chested, but not women.
And even now, riding the subway, ignoring the sneering glances at my lipstick and legs and
23-year-old B. Sullivan Knopf is a self-described queer transgender woman, poet, playwright, and performance artist.
Can I please ask you to say what you said before regarding the workshop with UNM fetal remains with high school students?
I'm sorry, Richard. Yes, we had a faculty member who, in fact,
and I'm recording.
Some tissue, and during one of these summer workshops, dissected. I think 1 or 2 fetal brains.
Is that from Dr. Boyd's?
Oh, I'm not sure exactly where.
The city of Chicago has teamed up with the University of Chicago to launch a multi-million-dollar project being hailed as a fitness tracker for the city. But there are some Chicagoans who believe the array of things is just another way of gathering information about us.
They're going up throughout the city, dozens of beehive-looking sensors designed to gather information on an urban scale. Chicago becoming the first city in the nation with its very own fitness tracker. It's all part of an ambitious project known as the Array of Things.
They're designed to help us capture data about the environment and the activities and the infrastructure across the city of Chicago.
50 of these nodes are currently being installed on light poles and buildings in the Loop and other selected neighborhoods, with as many as 450 more to go up by 2018.
And like the fitness tracker helps you change your behavior, this will give us data to help us make changes in how the city operates.
Yeah, it's always wonderful to be here, even if it's only for a day. It's even rarer that not one but two hurricanes are set to pass through the islands over the next few days.
And Hawaii is bracing for a double whammy as two storms bear down on the state.
Few people understand, I think, the stakes better than our Pacific Island leaders, because they're seeing already the impact. Rising temperatures and sea levels pose an existential threat to your countries. And while some members of the U.S. Congress still seem to be debating whether climate change is real or not, many of you are already planning for new places for your people to live. Crops are withering in the Marshall Islands. Kiribati bought land in another country because theirs may someday be submerged. High seas force villagers from their homes in Fiji. And no nation, not even one as powerful as the United States, is immune from a changing climate. Where glaciers are melting at a pace unprecedented in modern times. And it was a preview of our future if the climate keeps changing faster than our efforts to address it.
Face the State. I'm Ariana Bennett. Thank you for staying with us. Well, according to NASA research, last year saw the warmest surface temperatures on Earth that we've seen since modern record keeping began in 1880. Now, 2015 is part of a trend of warming we've seen escalating over the last 35 years.
But for so many at once is unheard of.
It's not something you see every day, so just kind of surreal to see it.
Anderson's husband has been working with cows his entire life. She says he has never had anything like this happen.
Not any of his, and especially not to this magnitude.
Our South Jersey Bureau, as many as 20,000 dead fish have washed up in Little Egg Harbor. Officials say it is the second largest fish kill in less than a week.
A bit of deja vu. This comes just a day after crews finished cleaning up a large fish kill in the area.
I've been here in this marina for 4 years now, and I've never seen a fish kill like this.
This is no joke, even though it sounds like a knock-knock joke. You might smell something fishy if you are near Lake Murray, because dead fish are floating to the top.
If you were on Casco Bay today or anywhere along the southern Maine coast, you may have seen hundreds of dead fish in the water.
At home, we just felt an earthquake right here in the studio. Lights were shaking, desk was shaking, building was shaking. We bring in meteorologist Joe Loria. Joe, what just happened?
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out. I do know it was felt as far south as Oklahoma because I'm seeing some tweets from there. But that was, I've gone through some earthquakes back east when I was growing up in New York. I've never ever felt anything.
That was a pretty big rumble.
The desk was really shaking.
What we just
so were the lights.
Lights were shaking, and this entire studio is just concrete. And that was a pretty good rock and roll for us.
Yeah,
Great Plains were shaken awake this morning by the strongest earthquake in the region in years.
This comes as the state of Oklahoma has seen a huge jump in earthquakes in recent years.
The quake was felt for hundreds of miles around in 6 neighboring states. Pawnee's mayor says the quake lasted at least a minute, much longer than most tremors that hit the earthquake-prone state.
I said, is this the end? Is Jesus coming back?
Order, therefore, and the maintenance of a stable and just global order require that this institution we call the United Nations continue and be strengthened into the future. And not least because the tensions which now exist, which threaten to undermine the order in geopolitics and beyond, are frankly too clearly there for us all to ignore. The effective implementation and measurement of existing major UN global initiatives and decisions, most particularly Agenda 2030.
August in Milwaukee, making the history books.
The city had 24 homicides last month, the highest total since July of 1991.
Startling new crime stats for Chicago reveal we already have the same number of murders this year as all of last year.
I said, is this the end? Is Jesus coming back?
It's not a utopian mission, it's a very practical mission of how we can improve the common interests of peace and security,